Hello? Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now? Yeah! It's Friday. What's happening, y'all? This is before the coffee. I'm back. I'm back, y'all. We in here. Yo, Train, what's happening with you? Bats, what up, though? Happy Friday to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It pulls up. Kicks it with me live. Watching this on the back end. However we doing this here. Much appreciated either way, man. Chairs and bar stools to all. Is there a decent balance to my voice and the music? You know what I'm saying? I'm in the process of recalibrating everything. There have been a lot of knobs turned, a lot of wires pulled, and all the such. So might need a little bit of feedback from the good people if you don't mind. But we back though. All right, let me go ahead and approve that and immediately remove it. There we go. Approved and removed. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna start Friday, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But what do you know? Exactly. What do you know and what do you show? Nothing. Because your message is deleted. Out of there. But yeah, man, I'd like to welcome everybody to the official episode 2 of UnapolaJettik. Nice to have you. We got a little bit of things we can kick it about today. You know what I'm saying? Because I had an extra day. You know what I'm saying, to kind of collect data as I was, getting myself together. Oh, hey, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit more on my headphones. Yeah, while I was up here, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure that my computer didn't burn down the house or nothing like that, some things happened. I learned about some things. Things were brought to my attention. Things were shown also. I didn't put it in the title, but we can also talk about a little bit of Resident Evil. But the meat and potatoes of today's conversation is absolutely going to be about Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Midnight. Pop, what up, dope player? You know what I'm saying? What's happening with you? Hope everything good with you, dog. Happy Friday. Glad to have you here, you know what I'm saying? Spending your Friday with the kids. So, yeah, man. We're going to go ahead and kick this thing off, dog. Because, apparently, that beta that we had, a Street Fighter 6, that might just be the last one we ever get, man. Because, we got some folks over here, them PC gamers don't know how to act, dog. So, like, they're hacking everything. You know what I'm saying? Hacking everything. You know what I'm saying? Cracking everything. Man. Good Lord. Man. The PC gamers over there, they hacked the game, man. They up here playing the game. They found a way to get back in the training mode, having 1v1 matches, all that. And of course, they couldn't keep it to themselves because they got a clout chase with it. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta tell the whole world that they got this out here. So of course, what does Capcom do? They lay back in the cut like, all right, We're gonna throw a patch out there that's gonna disable the whole exe file. And that's not even the worst part about it. I actually, you know, I'm more concerned about the long-term ramifications of such an event occurring. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, best case scenario is that they just don't have PC betas no more. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be on a console. But it could absolutely be an issue. It could absolutely be an issue going forward, man. Because them PC gamers. Never mind that I just bought a 3070 and I was running on PC yesterday with Bats and Agent and Quo. You know what I'm saying? Never mind that. I ain't like them. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Them PC gamers over there. You know what I'm saying? Ruining it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible thing. Them PC gamers can't have nothing, can you? Golly. Yeah, man, where is Quantum? Good question. Hopefully he's doing good. Hopefully he's good. Trying to enjoy Friday. Hey, man, can't be mad at that. Said leave PC out of it completely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Exclude PC going forward. Yeah, just exclude PC from the open betas or the closed betas for that matter, because they'll hack it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even the worst part. You got things being hacked and data mined. So you got a whole bunch of things that weren't ever intended for anybody to see, but those files are of course gotta be included in the data. Those things get data mined and of course released. So we end up seeing a whole lot. Unfortunately, nothing related to Bison, which is the ultimate tragedy of the situation. How is it that we had the game being data mined and still nothing in reference to Bison? Because of that, it almost makes me feel like Capcom deserved this. But no, as as a creator and an advocate for creators myself, I hate leaks. I hate leaks. I hate leaks for the people who put their hard work into a product and want it displayed at the time and the circumstances that they should have. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'll tell you this much: if you're gonna have a leak, might as well make it a good leak and have some Bison information in there. They ain't had no Bison, no nothing. Yo, Ace, what's that? They might just be making Bison into a chick. Hey, man. M. Bison is not Bison if Bison is the chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, female M. Bison is Falk. Female M. Bison is Rose. Female M. Bison is a different character. You know what I'm saying? You know Bison. You know Bison now. Stop playing with it. Stop playing with it. You know who Bison is, dog. You know who Bison is. You know his name. And his name is his name. Alright? Don't be getting me worked up over here, dog. Said Capcom gonna pull an NRS and do some time travel reboot. They not gonna do that in this game, at least. They not doing that in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened though. He said his name's actually Balrog. No, actually it's Vega. Yeah. Actually, Bison is Vega. Vega is Balrog, and Balrog is M. Bison. Cheers. Cheers to that, sir. Your boy know too much, alright? Yeah. Yeah, Mike Bison, yeah, because I mean they wanted to make a character based off Mike Tyson, but didn't want a lawsuit. Smart move by Capcom. So I hope it is now after how against it you are. I'm not against it, but that wouldn't be Bison. I mean, how can I be against it when the main in pretty much every fighting game that I can think of is a female? I played Konoichi, Ivy, Isabella Valentine, the greatest, my favorite female fighting game character. Kitana and Melina, Sindel, Cammy. Why would I be against it? But I mean, that's like turning Ken into a girl at this point. Like, what? Just make a new character. Like, don't just all of a sudden you just start, gender swapping. Why? But yeah, I would absolutely have no problem whatsoever with a dope female character. I don't play any. I find a way to run with females anyway. Females are my mains. I love women. Says Shin equals trans. What? Does it? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Hey, I'm not even going down that lane, man. You can go down that lane by yourself. I'm just saying. Bison has been the man. Said Shin Bison. Man, Shin Bison is Shin Bison is like Cyber Akuma. Like, it's not really even like canon. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been a Shin Akuma, but a Shin Bison really, like, Shin Bison is just the more powerful, hyped up boss version of M Bison that you can't play as. You know what I'm saying? There's really not a Shin Bison. Now there's a Shin Akuma, but yeah. Calm down, Mr. Fantastic. You're gonna fuck up your rotator cuff. Your rotator cuff just gonna be all blued up and blued out, old man. Calm it on down, cause I'm cracking domes now, sending them home now. Dallas, what up, though, player? How you living, man? So unfortunately, Cyber Sub-Zero. Oh man, facts. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a thing too. That Shadowloo really is played out. You don't need to have Shadowloo as an overarching, entity in order to have those characters. I think it would be interesting to see kind of like a post Shadowloo version of these characters. They don't even have to, like, those characters don't even have to be united. They could be rivals, but bring the characters back. Like, I mean, like, ooh, we're really sitting here like, do people really care about fighting game stories? Do they? Like, where are people caring about fighting game stories? Where they doing that at? We caring about fighting game stories out here? All right, if you care so much about the fighting game stories, I'm gonna need you to pull up and throw some hands in the actual game. Because if you that invested into the stories, you better be nice. You better be nice, because like if you're gonna be invested into the minutia of the game, you better be invested in the real talk at least a little bit. I'm like, huh? That Mortal Kombat fans? Okay. That depends on the game. You know what? And that's cool. That's cool. But are people really like? I mean, you can be interested in it because it is. I mean, it is interesting. But are people really like breaking these stories down and critiquing them and saying, "Yo, man, I'm tired of them, man. I'm tired of this storyline in this fighting game, dog." I'm like, what, man? We need a new story in this fighting game that we don't even really deal with all that much outside of, you know, the arcade mode playthrough that I do every once in a while when I don't feel like getting my ass whooped online and all that. I'm like, what? Huh? You ain't doing that? You ain't doing that? Do you really care about the story of the fighting game when you playing online? Do you really care about the story mode of a fighting game when you playing, you know, whatever mode with your peoples on a Friday night? You go into an arcade, or you have some peoples over and y'all just decide to casually kick it as y'all drinking or whatever. Man, ain't nobody care about them stories, bruh. It is not that kind of game. It's not that kind of game. They don't have to be associated with the main story in order to still be characters in the game. They are some of the most iconic characters in the history of the franchise. Scratch that. They're some of the most iconic characters in the history of the genre. It would be an absolute travesty if they were to be permanently omitted. Just because people are tired of them being the bosses in that cheesy ass storyline. Alright? Injustice's story, but Injustice's story is based on lore that come from comic books. That is a completely different medium. Okay, all right, here we go with the Papa Midnight bad takes. Here we go. I knew it wouldn't last long. They have good story modes, but that doesn't mean that they're really good stories. It doesn't mean that, like, I mean, you appreciate them for what they are, but as far as critiquing them and breaking them down, like, no, I don't care. Like, it's just something that you go along with to, you know what I'm saying, to get you into the game. He said Tekken had a solid story. He said up until Jin took over the G Corporation. I actually like Villain Jin. I'm cool with Villain Jin. He said, yeah, just being different. How? Man, why are people gonna be that invested in the storyline of a fighting game to the point to where they want that to dictate the roster? Like, the purpose of a fighting game roster is to have interesting and compelling characters that people want to play. Not to tell a story. Most people don't care about the story. They're gonna play through the story and be entertained by it, but at the end of the day, they want to come back and play as interesting and compelling characters. Care about no story? Not no fighting game. It's not like we're talking about Uncharted here. I'm not talking about a Naughty Dog game. Like, man, we're talking about a fighting game. You ever talking, man, we want to play a story. Want to play a story in a fighting game? How many times do you go back and experience that story? Like, once you've done it and you've digested it for what it's worth, do you go back and revisit that story? Are those the kind of story games that we're playing out here? Said good story mode will enhance one's investment in these characters and their art. Sure, but it is just that, an enhancement. It's an enhancement. That well said. Well said. It is an enhancement. I'm not against story mode, but I'm not about to sit here and pretend that these story modes in these games are the Last of Us. That these stories in these games are, you know, the types of stories that just rope you in so much. Like, look, man, take a look at what God of War Ragnarok is gonna be, and then compare it to one of these fighting game throwaway story modes. Now, I'm all for having them in there, but like, they're not important. They're not important. They are just that. They're enhancements. They are add-ons. They are add-ons that are important. But let's not get it twisted. That's what they are. They're add-ons. Said, but the answer to the question why they start fighting is a valid one and should be. No, it's not. It's not. I never cared. I never cared, and I never heard anybody actually like have a conversation about, hey man, why Ryu and Ken be scrapping? You just know that Bison is the villain. You know that Bison and his crew is the villains. They the bad guys. They the ones that you ultimately want to beat up. But man, I don't care about the fact that Chun-Li is a cop and been investigating him for how long and all. Man, no. I mean, it's all cool for when you eventually want to go down that lane, but that ain't. Once you learn it, it's like, oh, okay, all right, that's cool. But you said they literally made they made bad movies about that. You forgot the main adjective with that. They made bad movies with that. They made bad ones. Animes. Animes that were centered around the fighting. You said it still hit the man. That don't matter. We're not talking about whether it just makes it there. Like, we're not talking about just being there. We're not doing Ace. We're not doing participation awards. We're not doing that. No. We're not doing participation awards here. They're cool to have, but we're like, I mean, are we really gonna pretend? Are we really gonna hold these fighting game stories up on a pedestal and really scrutinize them the way stories are usually scrutinized? Why? It's merely just a side dish to accompany the main dish of the actual fighting, the competition. That's it. He said there's only been one good Street Fighter movie, and that's an anime. I mean, and I wonder why. Because they're not good stories. They're not good stories. And the thing about it, they don't have to be good stories. They don't have to be good. Why? I mean, you can study it and appreciate the lore and everything. That's cool. That's all well and good. But like, don't try and convince me that that's what most people care about that are fans of this franchise. Like, they're so invested in this story, like it's the Last of Us. No. You think what made these characters pop culture is their stories? You think when Nicki Minaj is up here dressing up as Chun-Li that she cares about the fact that she was a cop hunting down M. Bison for all these years? No. She thinks that Chun-Li looks cool, does cool things, and you see her fighting. That's all that's important. Now the story stuff, you know, that's all well and good. You can have that as an extra. But No, you're very misinformed if you think that the story really makes that big of a difference. It doesn't. It doesn't. He said they're not The Last of Us, but they should be. Why? It's a fighting. Pop, I'm not paying attention to nothing you say about a fighting game unless I see you pull up and throw them hands. I need to see something. Because till then, in my mind, you're just a person that's sitting back and watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You sitting back watching the Mortal Kombat movie that came out 2 years ago. You want fighting game stories, but you don't fight. And so until you pull up and throw them hands and stomp, we good here. So why they're fighting doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. It's a fighting video game. It's about competition. It's about competition. It's about competition, sir. When people are hanging out at the arcade, man, they're not asking why. Hey, man, you happen to know why Chun-Li and M. Bison beefing? Hey, man, you think Sagat is getting tired of working for M. Bison, man? What you think, man? No, they don't. They don't care. They just want them tiger uppercuts to be clean. They want them psycho crushers to be crushing. And they want them lightning legs moving. That's it. I ain't paying no mind to that story, man. Capcom knows that. Capcom knows where their bread is buttered at. I'm not about to have somebody come up in here and tell me, trying to convince me that them stories actually mean more than what they do. No, they don't. They never did. They never did. That's the reason. That's the reason why you can resurrect dead characters all the time in fighting games and nobody minds. Hey, Bass, you brought up the Tekken storyline. How many times was Heihachi resurrected? You really think you really think he's done for good now? You really think so? You say you can't say that when comic books and films exist for these joints. I'm talking about within the context of the game. I'm talking about within the context of the video game of the main video game universe. You said if a competitive only fighting game came out, it would not survive. So basically, what you're saying is, so basically, what you're kind of implying is that every single fighting game that survived because it had a story. Huh? So you're telling me that the lore nuts were keeping fighting games alive this whole time? I had no clue. I had no idea. Wow. This is an epiphany. That fighting games without stories would not survive. Wow. That's an epiphany. He said, who fighting for no reason? Literally, like if you ask most people who finance these games, who don't know the stories, nor do they care about the stories, every single one of them fight for no reason. Because the reason why these joints survive, the reason why, thank you, never would have thought of that. Most people don't think of it. Most people don't. See, just like most people in video game communities, they overestimate how many of them there actually is. Mortal Kombat sold 12 million copies. That we know of. Mortal Kombat 11 sold 12 million copies. I would go out on a limb and say that 75% of them on the low end don't care about the story. They care about the cool things that the characters do and don't care about how they got there, because it doesn't matter. The gameplay and the interaction and the engagement of the game is not within the story. It is a very, very passive thing that is added to the game as an, you know, as it's an accessory. It's an accessory. People don't buy fighting games for stories. They don't. If that was the case, if people were that invested into the stories of these fighting games, the movies, the animes, all of them would be a lot more popular than the games themselves. It's not the case, though. It's not the case. Because most people that play the games play the game. They're not invested in the stories like that. Most of them aren't. Not to say that no one is, because hey, if you guys are, you guys are. I am to an extent, but I'm not delusional enough to think that that's what sells the game, because it isn't. Nobody cares. It's not a movie. It's different. You said no, they don't, but the story holds way more weight than what you are giving them credit for. Why? Based on what? Like, how can you say that? Based on what? Based on what? Based on what? Because when people bring up the stories in video games, Mortal Kombat is not brought up. Street Fighter is not brought up. Why does it deserve more credit for the success of the franchise? Of whatever franchise it is. Because Mortal Kombat was popular before it had story modes. Street Fighter was popular before it had story modes. Like, story modes weren't always just there. Arcade endings a lot of times aren't even necessarily canon. So like, where are you getting this idea from? Where are you getting this idea from? Tell me. Based on the fact that there are stories, that literally makes no sense. That literally makes no sense. Anything can have a story. That doesn't mean it's important. That doesn't mean that that's the reason why they're successful. You're like you're not backing anything up with information. You're just saying that it's important because it's there. That's it. So just because something is there makes it important. He said, I get what you're trying to convey. I'm not trying to convey it. I'm conveying it. You said you're just not seeing it from the other side. I see it from the other side, but what you guys are not seeing is the fact that despite the fact that those stories are there and they have been translated to other mediums, the other mediums haven't been successful. So what does that say about these stories that apparently propelled the success of these games? What does it say? That maybe if the games were successful without the stories being successful in other mediums, maybe it wasn't the stories in the first place. Maybe it was the fact that people just enjoyed playing the game. Maybe. I don't get how that's difficult to understand. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the story for what it is, but let's not be so delusional to think that just because it has a story and it's there, that's the reason why it's successful, because people want to know why they're fighting. They didn't even explain why they were fighting back in the day when fighting games really blew up as a genre. They really didn't even explain it. Like I said, most most of them weren't even canon. We didn't actually find out what was canon to the story until more sophisticated forms of storytelling came up in the video game medium. They weren't telling stories in fighting games back then. They weren't. You said you ain't letting me have shit. I got this. Like I know too much. Like, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Where is the successful fighting game story that's outside of a fighting game? Where is it? He said we didn't learn about the Street Fighter story until Alpha. How long was that? How long was that? And it turns out, again, a lot of things aren't even canon that are told in these stories. The only thing it gives you is a resolution. It gives you a satisfying ending for beating the boss characters. Like, fighting games started off as essentially boss rush games. That's basically what they were. They were boss rush games that you could play against other people. That's it. They didn't have. He said, but there was a. Hey, y'all can talk to Papa Midnight all you want, but I don't know why, but he feels the need to get overwhelmingly high before he come into one of my streams. I don't understand why he does it. I don't understand why he does it. He said, yeah, it was almost a decade after Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 did not have a comprehensive story. It just had endings. He said, go home and be a fan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Greatest story told in a video game. What, man? I swear, like, either these people don't know their history, or they just started playing fighting games last week. But to pretend that these stories are the reason why fighting games blew up. How? Like that? I've never heard anything like that before. I've never heard anything like that from somebody that don't throw hands. From somebody that don't throw hands. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. Anyway, I don't think we're gonna be seeing a PC beta. The PC beta, if they still do an open beta or another closed beta later on. I don't think PC is going to be included, ladies and gentlemen. I do not think so. It's unfortunate. But yeah, I think Steam gonna be left out. So yeah, man, get you a console. Get you a console if you want them PC boys. Get you a console, bro. Yeah, get you a console. Even though I will say this, I will be buying Street Fighter 6 on PC. I will be doing that. My input lag is gonna be as low as humanly possible. Yeah, man, my input lag gonna be low. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing no more of these games. Said console too? No. I think PC is gonna be ruled out. Console should be fine. Like, it takes a whole lot more to hack a console version of a game. It takes a lot more. It takes a lot more. Like that Steam version, though. That Steam version got man. It got hacked. It got data mined. They got all that there. I enjoy the lore in games that go out of their way not to tell the stories enough. So I'm probably on the wrong side of the debate. No, I mean I'm just joking around, but I don't like there actually is not a right or wrong side. But I do think that there's a right or wrong side when you say that that is the reason why fighting games are what they are. Because fighting games blew up to be the most popular that they ever was without the presence of story modes. I mean, that is a clear right or wrong thing. But I mean, I'm not gonna tell somebody that they're wrong for fighting, for being interested in the story. That's cool, whatever it is. But you're blatantly spitting that booty chatter if you saying that that's the reason why fighting games are popular, or that's the reason why fighting games took off. It's not because it literally didn't exist during the golden age of the genre. It didn't exist. He said Jet trying to get that Evo invite. Yo man, Evo is 20 minutes away from me. I don't need an invite. I can pull up whenever I want, brother. Yeah, man, I can pull up whenever I want, man. Evo every single year is about 20 minutes away. Yeah, man. Hey, man. You just walk up in. Anybody who got a ticket, man. I ain't nobody special. Said Guilty Gear Strive has a story mode that almost no one plays because it's a movie. I mean, I've never heard one person, and I'm not being hyperbolic. I promise you. I've never heard one person talk about Guilty Gear Strive story mode. Once. Never. I've never heard one person talk, not just Strive. I never heard anybody talk about Guilty Gear story. The whole franchise. Haven't heard one person. Said DNF 2. Man, DNF story mode wasn't even a story. That wasn't even a story. I don't even know what that was. It wasn't in English. It wasn't in English. It was a slideshow. DNF story was this much better than a coloring book. The Guilty Gear lore is low-key insane. Man, I would not know. Like for one, I started playing Guilty Gear at Stride. And even then, like I'm in the process of trying to learn how to play Strive now. But I have absolutely no concept of what the story is. I saw a character that I thought looked cool and I picked her. That's another female character trained. So yes, I don't have no problems with female characters. I play female characters in literally every fighting game. But I digress. I saw a cool character that I wanted to play, went with it. Man, ain't none of this story bullshit that Papa up here talking about, man. None of that, dog. Man, that joint hit 1 million sales for the first time in this franchise, and it wasn't because of that story. It wasn't because people care about why they're fighting. Because it looks cool. I'll even go further than that. My personal favorite fighting game franchise, the Versus series, Marvel vs. Capcom on back. Starting with X-Men Children of the Atom, moving forward to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. My favorite video game franchise. It never had a story mode until Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and that was the absolute worst entry in all of the series. Worst entry. Worst. It was bad. other than the gameplay, everything else was bad. It looked bad. The roster was bad. Gameplay was cool, but it was downgraded from 3v3 to 2v2, and it had the Infinity Stone system. But it had a story mode. But nobody liked it. It wasn't good. These story modes don't matter in fighting games if the game isn't good. And if the game is good, that is gonna take precedence over a story mode, regardless of how good the story mode actually is. Because NRS, they do great story modes. They do. But that's for a fighting game. And that's where it stops. I'm not gonna pretend that their story modes or their storytelling is on par with other people in the industry, let alone when we start talking about stories in general. That's why these stories never translated well to other mediums. Movies, TV shows. They go double bubble wrap. They're terrible. So don't tell me that just because they have a story that it makes it good. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. People know why they played those games, and it had nothing to do with finding out why the characters were fighting each other. People like picking Sub-Zero and Scorpion and having them go at it. People like, you know what I'm saying, get over here. People like that. People like Shao Kahn with you would never win. People dig it. People like sure you could. People dig that. People like doing cool things with cool looking characters, and it stops there when it comes to a fight game. When we're talking about the masses. Now, of course, if you want to go further down the rabbit hole, yeah, let that information be available to you, and it should be. But let's not be so delusional to think that this is where they bread is buttered at. It ain't. It ain't. Fighting games would sell a lot more if they had story modes that were as good as other people in the genre. We're not even talking about stories that translate well to film. Let's just keep it confined to the video game space. If there was a fighting game in history that told a comprehensive story as well as Naughty Dog does, as good as Rockstar does, just imagine how much Mortal Kombat would sell. If not only did you get a AAA fighting game experience, but you got a AAA storytelling experience too. Now I'm not talking AAA storytelling experience as, for the genre that it's in, because Mortal Kombat does tell a AAA story experience for the genre. But when you start comparing it to other games that really do this, no, it doesn't add up. It doesn't measure up. Sorry. You can still be interested in it. I'm still interested in it, but I do know where I'm at with it though. I can compartmentalize the fact that this ain't that. He said that's what I've been saying the whole time. No, what you've been saying the whole time is the fact that because they have these stories, that is the reason why the genre is as big as what it is, and that is the most important thing. You don't even know what you're saying. Scroll up. Read what you said. Read what you said. You sound crazy. There's not a story in a fighting game that translates well. If it did, it would do better. It would absolutely help, but it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it because the genre is built and thrives off of the gameplay, off of the interaction, off of the competition that it creates amongst people. It's a fun game. It's a fun experience. So you don't necessarily need to be held by the hand and walk through a story. because that's not what the intention of the genre is. Now, for those who are interested in it, cool, you can have it. But no, there's no way that you can convince me that most people who buy these games care about what the story is. They don't. Otherwise, they would do better. They will perform better. They will perform better in these other mediums, and more people would be interested in going to see it. Sorry, but I'm not. Next time. Resident Evil Showcase popped off, man. Oh, man. Resident Evil Showcase popped off, man. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. For those who are around, man, in the Discord, man, in the Gold Chain Gamers Discord, man, I had a very, very, very intense debate with the homie Chips and Sticks, man, about top tier developers. He brought up Capcom. Capcom is absolutely a top tier developer. Capcom's absolutely a top tier developer out here, man. Man, Resident Evil 4 remake looks so fire, bruh. They are actually taking they're taking the Resident Evil formula and adding a whole bunch of things that I absolutely wanted them to add this whole time, like crouching, ducking behind cover. It looks like it's integrated quite a bit of Last of Us into it, to where you can duck and cover. You look like you can be able to sneak around a little bit and stealth. You can parry. So like when somebody swang on you, you can parry and attack back. Man. There's a lot going on in Resident Evil 4, man. Oh man, that game can't get here quick enough either, bruh. That game can't get here quick enough either, dog. I am waiting. I am ready and waiting for that joint, bruh. Man, let me tell you something. They need to hurry up and remake Resident Evil 1 the way that they've been remaking all these other joints, dog. Give me Resident Evil 1. I needs it. That's a must right there. That's a must, bruh. They are slowly but surely just refining that wheel they got over there. Not to mention, in 1 week from today, we will be playing the Winter's expansion of Resident Evil. You know, Resident Evil Village. We'll be able to run that. You know what I'm saying? That should be a fun time. You know, for those who know me, I always gotta run. I always gotta run the new Resident Evil stuff on whatever channel I'm sitting at. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get that cracking. That's gonna be crack-a-lack. It's gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? So be sure to pull up for that. You know what I'm saying? We don't just fight over here. You know what I'm saying? We play everything. We gonna be playing everything, but we mainly fight. We mainly talk about fighting games, but we do a little bit of everything. We're gonna be running some Resident Evil. We're gonna play that Winter's expansion DLC. We're gonna see what that joint hitting for, and we might even see what's going on with that Resident Evil multiplayer joint, the free-to-play joint. It looks better than it did before. The Resident Evil Reverse. I don't know how familiar y'all are with that, but it looks better than it did before. We can see what that's hitting for. See if I can gather up some people to run with me. You know what I'm saying? Might be a fun time, you know what I'm saying? Have, we could all play as iconic Resident Evil characters. Hopefully they got my boy Wesker up in there, or Nemesis, or Lady Dimitris. That Lady Dimitris, man. Oh, yeah, they got Lady Dimitris. But if they got any one of them villains, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I'll also rock with Jill. You in there? All right, man. That's what I'm talking about, D. That's what I'm talking about, D. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue to assemble over the week then. Over the course of the week, we're gonna continue to, you know what I'm saying, assemble our crew. But yeah, man, we gonna have that joint cracking. Next week will absolutely be Resident Evil week over here on the TNT side of the block, but I would be remiss if I didn't start off talking about Street Fighter. It's crazy how we even got to this. It's crazy how we even got to this point. We ever talk about the Street Fighter story. I came in here wanting to talk about the beta getting hacked. You know what I'm saying? And the ramifications of how that could happen. That could, occur throughout the industry. You know what I'm saying? That could destroy PC betas. At least for Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? Because Street Fighter 5 got hacked. Street Fighter 6 got hacked. You know what I'm saying? They might just say, you know what I'm saying, whatever with all this. I'm done. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? They might just say I'm tired after all this. Hopefully they don't. But, you know what I'm saying? We shall see. Time shall tell. I heard, it got hacked, man. People up here in training mode, running 1v1s, man. People getting a whole lot of extra run, so they'll be more prepared to deal with me and Kim. That's not fair. It's an unfair advantage. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like all that. That ain't cool. I got all my dubs on the strength of playing the game for 2-3 days. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden people want this extra time that I don't get to get. You know what I'm saying? Man, what part of the game is this? What part of the game is this, man? So that's why, man, can't trust these PC gamers out here, man. These PC gamers be foul. Man, they foul out here, man. We won't talk about the fact that I just got a 3070, man. All the rest of them PC gamers, man, they foul, man. Scum of the earth. All the rest of them, not me. Not me. I'm the most honest human being of all time. But the rest of them, man, they some snakes, man. You can't trust them. They out here hacking. You know what I'm saying? I don't be buying it on PC, but all the rest of them. Yeah, not me though. I'm living under a rock because this is news to me about the Street Fighter 6 beta getting hacked. Yeah, man, that joint got hacked, man. People all up in training mode, everything. Now, people weren't able to play online with it. They're not able to play online. They were just able to, get back into training mode. I believe they were able to run some 1v1 matches locally. Like they had somebody that, that was next to them. Old school, couch co-op, or couch competition. Not co-op. But yeah, it did get hacked. People had the opportunity to play the game for an extended period of time outside of what was allowed. So that did happen. Unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Now, what this ends up doing, or how this affects Capcom's strategy going forward, as far as what they plan to do with future betas, or the timetable in which they were thinking about doing another beta. If they were, it's awful. We shall see. We shall see, man. Hopefully it doesn't affect their plans too much. If anything, just don't launch it on Steam. Don't launch it on Steam. Just make it a PlayStation and Xbox. PlayStation and Xbox beta. That sucks, though. That sucks. Because a few people that couldn't keep their mouth shut about hacking the beta are going to ruin it for an entire platform, in all seriousness. You know, it was like, not all PC gamers did this. Not all PC gamers did this, man. It's unfortunate that potentially they could all be, you know, they could all face the consequences of what a few people did. Sucks. But we shall see. We shall see what they end up doing going forward. So definitely run some reverse. Said hyped about all the Resident Evil shit coming from this year. You know, yeah, man. It's a lot on the way. It's a lot on the way because I mean we got the Winter's expansion coming up. We got Reverse coming up. You know, within the next week. And then you got, you know, Resident Evil Village available on PlayStation VR 2. And then you got Resident Evil 4 remake, y'all. Man, oh man, fantastic. Looks fantastic. But yeah, man. We definitely gonna have that crack a laugh. But yeah, man. We'll see how that affects the betas going forward. Hopefully it doesn't too much, considering that Street Fighter V also got hacked. But it wasn't like this. It got hacked and data mined. Like there was some data mining that, you know, like they were able to hack into the game to get back into the game, and once they did that, they was doing even more hacking. They was hacking into other characters that had not been officially, you know, I mean they've been revealed, but it hadn't been showcased. We learned a little more about that. Not a good look, but hopefully it doesn't affect all of us honest people that play on consoles. Said beta for Reverse on Monday. Yep. They got the early access bar. That early access bar started, I believe, 24th. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, for anybody who has Resident Evil Village, you get it for free. So if you have Resident Evil Village, holla at your boy. We can get some of that reverse crack-a-lack. We can see what it's hitting for. It may be trash. If it's trash, we'll just discard it. We'll just play the Winter's expansion. But if that joint ain't trash, it could be a fun thing to run. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Wow was right. Says, so it's the first Descendant beta live stream on Saturday, so you can stream the Reverse on Monday. I'm not even sure if I was gonna stream the first Descendant. I know Bats was streaming. He was streaming it yesterday. We were all playing on his channel. I tell you what. I'll see how it performs, because I don't have a dual PC setup, and if I don't have a dual PC setup, I'm funny about streaming PC games. But I'll see. But from what I did play yesterday of the first Descendant, I did like it. Albeit might be a tad repetitive, but I'm still so early on in the game that I'll reserve judgment even on that. But it might be a little repetitive. And the crosshair being in the middle of the screen hurt the hell out of me. Please patch that Nexon, or whoever's making the game for Nexon. That red crosshair dot was driving me nuts. So please patch that. Please give us an option to eliminate that from the screen. I own an OLED. I am frightened to death about burn-in. So having that little red dot perpetually on the screen that I cannot unsee is bothersome. Ran over. But other than that, and the glitches, but it's a beta, whatever. Seemed like an okay game. Outside of it maybe getting a bit repetitive. The loop could eventually get long in it too. Just saying. Gotta get aside just a little bit. Boom. Said, I'm sorry I missed Prime House's stream. Hopefully you can stream some more of the beta. Appreciate you considering streaming. Oh, absolutely. It's a good idea. It's a good idea, and I wouldn't not do it because I don't want to. But one thing I did notice that it's a very, very demanding game, and being fully transparent, I have a single PC setup, so like playing a game on the same PC that I'm streaming from is quite a taxing ordeal. So, I pride myself on having, a very, having the best streaming presentation that I can have. And if it's a situation where my joint is my stream, the show that I try to present to you guys is compromised in any way, I'd rather not do it at all. But it wouldn't be because I wouldn't want to do it. I would absolutely want to do it, especially, guys like yourself request it. You know what I mean? I want to give the people what they want, but not if it comes, at the expense of the quality of, the presentation. You know what I'm saying? Says it's very taxing. Yeah, it is. It is. Like I'm really trying to, get a ride along going for the Arkham games. I might be able to swing it since I have a 30 series card and the Arkham games are older. I might be able to do it, but even then it is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. Like I really think I'm going to have to buckle down and build another computer if I want to play PC games and be able to stream them. Might just have to bite that bullet. But it wouldn't be because I wouldn't want to. Especially, if you guys would want to see it. Exactly, Juan. Exactly. I wouldn't want to compromise the quality of the stream that you guys are watching, because you guys are watching this, not necessarily me. You know what I mean? I don't want to have it, to where it's, it's stuttering and looking crazy, or, at times, it freezes or whatever, or it gets taxed so much that a program crashes, or whatever it may be. I wouldn't even want to put you guys through that as viewers. Man, I got off last week. Last week when I was having that audio situation with my capture card, I was extremely frustrated that I didn't, that I wasn't able to, to finish off the stream the way that I wanted to, Yeah, when I was having that audio issue, it was frustrating. It was frustrating that I couldn't, give you guys, I couldn't end my product off the way that I wanted to. So it's an issue. It's an issue that I absolutely consider, but I have to be very mindful of at the same time. Said, have you seen all the God of War Ragnarok previews from the outlets that have a review copy of the game? I've skimmed. I'll put it that way. I've skimmed. I'm trying to get to the point to where I'm going on blackout. I don't want to know too much. I don't want to know too much, and I know that PlayStation has a history of revealing a lot about their games. And I don't know what these people who have review copies would be saying, but I've heard that it's a PlayStation 4 game through and through that has been upported to PlayStation 5. And I mean, God of War 2018 was a PlayStation 4 game. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with it. Like, to me, as long as you know, it's a dope game, I don't care. But it looks epic. It looks epic. I'm looking forward to it. But to answer your question, I haven't seen much. Haven't seen much. And yo, Ant, what's happening with you, man? But yeah, man, I'm intentionally trying to avoid, you know, going too far down the rabbit hole, because if I start, I'm not sure if I'll be able to stop, and if I don't stop, I may end up seeing something I regret seeing, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just block everything out. That's what I did with Spider-Man. That's what I did with Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was the only other game I did that with. Yeah, watching the Hawks kick ass. Hey, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that, man. Said, no, I'm ducking and dodging God of War leaks. Hey, man. Yo, man, may the odds forever be in your favor, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be real out here in these streets, man. The closer and closer we get to release. Man, oh, man, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the trolls out here. I even was thinking about, you know, like the night of the 8th, because I stream that night anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's coming out the 8th for us on the West Coast anyway, which is a Tuesday. I stream on Tuesday, so I was even thinking about sticking around, streaming like the first hour or two of the game. Y'all know how we do on new releases, you know what I'm saying? New releases on Tuesday or Friday. We, you know, stick around, stream the first hour or two, you know what I'm saying? And we're going about our merry damn way, you know what I'm saying? But I might not be able to do that. I might not be able to do that. Because people out here, they're going to be wild. They're going to be wild. They're going to run up in the chat, spoil, and then break out. You know what I'm saying? Or if I do it, I have to make it to where, you know, it's just certain people. And I don't want to do that either. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to go in and add all of y'all names individually, and that way y'all can be the only people that chat. And, you know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of the fun out of it in case somebody new pops up, you know? In case somebody new pops up that has, you know, has good intentions, you know. So I don't know. I'm debating on what I'm gonna do with that. I may do a playthrough stream from the Discord. That might be a go. Man. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it from that standpoint. But that might be a go. Good idea. You said you seen one leak already? Have you? Oh, so you know firsthand that it's real out here, huh? Woo. You said you gotta remember these mofos don't give a damn. They don't, man. He said the previews of it have been mostly screenshot free and completely gameplay free. Oh, okay. So I'm a little bit more inclined to go, you know, check it out. Okay. All right, Quan. Said the blackout should be maintained. Keep the game fresh. It paid off. It paid off for me playing Spider-Man. It paid off for me playing Final Fantasy VII. You know, even though a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake did get spoiled for me, but it was my own fault. I went down the rabbit hole because I was just that thirsty. I was thirsty, so I did that. That was my fault. That was on me. I gotta hold that one. But Spider-Man, it definitely benefited. But yeah, doing an invite only joint in the Discord, that could be a go. That could be a go. Do an invite only joint, or do an unlisted YouTube stream on here. I could even do that. You know, do an unlisted. You know what I'm saying? VIP only stream. You know what I'm saying? You said I just like to troll or have man. Ain't nobody think about you, bro. Man, ain't nobody hearing you, bro. Said easy allies and GameSpot are safe as you can get with preview videos. The newest videos on the game are posted if you're interested. I did see that they posted them. I just avoided them. I do like the easy allies though. I do like the easy allies in their content. I'll check them out. I'll check their joint out. Yeah, I'll check their joint out. He said people who spoil get timed out ASAP. He said I keep my shit off safe. Yo man, hey man. Hey man, I ain't trust you. I ain't trust you with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Put that motherfucker in your hand, man. Cause I trust you with it. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't gonna be out here tripping. You know what I'm saying? I know you be ready. You be ready out here. He said an unlisted YouTube stream could be great. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I would have to go in and I would have to get all of y'all names. I have to get all of y'all names and, you know, make sure that y'all on the VIP list. Everybody else can't get in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that would be fire. That would be fire. Cause I mean, I would like to, you know, like, I think it would be dope to share that experience with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be dope to share that experience of, you know, of a game. Like I did a ride along already of God of War. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be really dope to have, you know, my initial God of War Ragnarok playthrough at least in some form or fashion. Like however much of y'all want to see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not even want to see me play through a whole game because you want to experience it for yourselves. But it would be nice to, you know, at least have, you know, some of my playthrough be shared with y'all. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause y'all have been a very, very significant part of what I do. You know what I'm saying? Of keeping my, you know, my enthusiasm for gaming high. You know what I'm saying? So I would absolutely love that, man. But I also know that, man, these folks be tripping. These folks be tripping. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. That would be a good time, man. That'd be a good time. Yeah, it'd be a good time, man. I would literally be streaming it at 9 p.m. on the 8th, which would be, you know, midnight on the East Coast. But people saying it's a PS4 game. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and Spider-Man are PS4. That. Hey, I guess we're just, you know, we're simpler people. I guess we're just simpler people. I guess we're just more minimalistic people that, you know, hey, we don't need anything more than what has already been shown to be the elite. You know what I'm saying? Like God of War 2018, like I pulled that game up, and I am still more amazed by God of War 2018 than I am for a lot of native PS5 games that have come out years later. I pull up Final Fantasy VII Remake. That joint be looking fire. I pull up Last of Us 2, like you said, fire. Last of Us 2 looks that looked like a PS5 game anyway. Spider-Man, like it's that difference. Our version gonna run at 4K 40. And see, and that is a very, very understated flex. You know what I'm saying? Because when people say like, oh man, what's the difference between 4K 30 and 4K 40? Quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit. It makes a difference. Like, I didn't realize how much an extra 10 frames per second actually makes. It makes a significant difference. Now, is it 60? No, it isn't. And for those who want a high frame rate experience, no, that 40 frames per second is not going to do it. But what I will say is that those whose eyes bleed now because of 30 frames per second, that 40 ain't bad. The 40 ain't bad. I play Horizon at the 40 game per second mode regularly now. Like unless I'm streaming the game to where my capture card does not allow like 40 frame per second output because it's only a 60 hertz card, I believe. That may not even be the case. Don't quote me on that. I may just have to bring it down to 40. Whatever. But that's the only time in which I wouldn't play Horizon at 40 frames per second. If I was streaming it, then it would be easier for me to play it at 60. Otherwise, when I'm just playing the game, enjoying it, kicking back, chilling, give me that extra visual fidelity at 40 frames, and I'm good. Now for me being a frame rate whore that I am, I didn't realize that all I was really asking for was an extra 10 frames. Like, I mean, there's an extra 10 frames, and I'm alright. If a game looked that good, all I need is an extra 10 frames. I don't even need to double the frame rate. I mean, that hey man, the more the merrier. But man, just give me an extra 10 frames, we might be alright. Might be okay. As long as it's consistent. Def, what up, though, player? Appreciate you pulling up, man. How you living, man? How's your weekend starting off? Hopefully I can add to that. But yeah, man. So hopefully it's a situation, man, where this becomes the norm. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice if a whole lot of these games were retroactively patched. Even though, to be honest, I mean, it's not even necessary. It's not even necessary for the most part because God of War runs at the same visual fidelity at double the frame rate. Same with Last of Us 2 and all these other games. So I guess it doesn't make a difference. But man, that 40 frames is nice. Make 40 frames per second the absolute bare minimum. We're gonna, of course, aim for as high as possible, but make that the minimum. Yeah. Said playing that at 120 gonna be different for people that got the TVs for it. Oh man, I'm gonna try it. I want to see what it's like. Because I didn't buy God of War on PC. I didn't buy God of War 2018 on PC, so I don't actually know what it's like, you know, playing at a high frame rate in that game. playing at a frame rate that's, you know, above 60. You know, so I'm not sure how necessarily that feels yet. But man, it could only get more. It can only get more crazy. Because playing it at 60 is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Playing it at 60 is ridiculous. Said, yo man, hey, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I learned my lesson, bro. No, I ain't going there no more, man. Nah, man. Don't need no fences at Camp 8 Ball. We good. I am not crossing the gun line, homie. I ain't crossing the gun line. No. No. No, we good over here. We gonna be playing on whatever normal is. We gonna be playing on that. You know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on, like, man, I show off these little Captain America wings of gray that I got over here. I got grays right over here. You know what I'm saying? Both sides. I've always had them. You know what I'm saying? These little goofy ass Captain America wings right here, right on the temples of gray. I don't need no more of them. All right, I'll be all right. Ain't playing no give me God of War mode. No, I'm not doing that no more. Too old for that. Nope, we ain't doing that. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. You triggered my PTSD right there. Sorry, man. I'm still feeling a way about that experience, man. So like, my bad. It's gonna be boogie on your soul. The Valkyrie is gonna be, oh man, hey man, that is the sole reason why I'm not doing it. That is the sole reason why I'm not doing it. I saw those Valkyries. I saw that the Valkyries are back. I'm like, nope, we playing them on normal. Yeah, we playing them on normals for sure. Ain't gonna, no, we ain't doing that again. We ain't doing that again. No, That is the sole reason. Valkyries are boss versions of game beat cheating. Game beat cheating in boss form is Valkyries. We ain't doing that. Nope. We playing them on normals. We are. Nothing but. You know what I'm saying? Can't pay me enough. And if you could pay me enough, I know y'all wouldn't even give me that number. Y'all wouldn't give me that number. You know what I'm saying? Y'all absolutely, you know, invest that in something else. I know Ant, he flipped. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna get that money to me just to play Give Me God of War. And that's the kind of number that would take to put on Give Me God of War and deal with them Valkyries. You ain't doing that. He said, yeah, you gotta fight two of them. What part of the game is that? Did they not play their own game last time? And I'm up here supposed to be talking about fighting games, then we up here talking about God of War. But hey, whatever. I'll change the title and the thumbnail later. We'll talk about it. I changed that after the fact. So people who came here to talk about Street Fighter 6, hey, we talked about it in the first hour. You know what I'm saying? Run it on back. We talking about God of War right now. We talking about what I ain't gonna do in God of War. How about that? He said, man, Valkyries kill. Hey, man, hey, yo. So that's the case, man. So I'm gonna see you doing it then. I'm gonna see you doing it. That what you're saying, dog? That what you're saying? I'm gonna see you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let me brush my beard a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Brush the beard down so I'm gonna see you doing it. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, that's what we gonna do. You gonna be doing it then. I do if you do. How about that? I do if you do. Yeah, both them hoes. Man. That's gonna be a headache, bro. Dealing with two of them. One was bad enough. And for those, I mean, I don't know if y'all knew this or not. I don't know if y'all remember this from the ride along that we did. We was kicking it. But Freya is a Valkyrie. But Odin took away her, her fighting spirit, so she was unable to, to fight in the first game, even to defend herself. That's why, like when her son was, choking her, she wouldn't even defend herself. Like she physically couldn't. She was unable to. Now, in that first trailer, they showed that she got it back. She was a Valkyrie. A head honcho of the Valkyries. Valkyries answered to her. She gonna be. You gonna have to fight her. She probably gonna be the worst of all of them. We thought that Valkyrie Queen was bad. Thought that Valkyrie Queen from the first game was bad, dog. Nah, man. Freya probably gonna be worse. Said she was the queen of. No, she wasn't the queen, but she was the one that the queens worshiped. So, I mean, I guess you can say she was the real queen. She was the queen, and she was the queen of the queen. So, while everybody else was play pimping, you know what I'm saying? Like, while everybody else was play pimping, she was for real with it. So yeah, you could say she was the queen, even though that there was already a Valkyrie queen that was in place. So she was like queen of the queen. I don't know what I mean. Whatever. That Freya and her court. Yo, man, it's about to be real, bruh. It's about to be real, bats. And they up here, they praying on my downfall, man. They don't want no good for me, man. They up here trying to get me to play that on Give Me God of War again. No, I'm not doing that. I don't know why y'all trying to pray on my downfall like that, but man, y'all can't pay me enough. And if y'all could pay me enough, y'all wouldn't pay me enough. You know what I'm saying? I already know. But you're right. Mimir said the post gameplay dialogue of God of War 2018 that Freya is searching for Valkyrie's wings. Yeah. Said she was the god of them. Said she wasn't a god. What? I think you need to replay the game, brother. You got a month. You got a month to catch up, baby. But yeah, she was a god. She was a god. Like that's the reason why her and Kratos initially fell out, because she was a god. She was a god. Like initially, she was just known as the Witch of the Woods to them, and then they found out that she was Freya, a goddess from Vanaheim, and everybody of Vanaheim was her people. She was the god of them, and with her and Odin getting married, it was their way of trying to unite and create a peace between Vanaheim and the Norse, and not the Norse, but what do they call? What do they call? I'm having a brain fart. But Odin and his folks. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was the queen and the goddess of her people. She was the queen and the goddess of her people, and she was trying to create a peace with Odin and his folks. So she agreed to marry him, and they had Balder. He said Odin or Zeus, man. Yo, man, yeah, you definitely need to play the game over again. Zeus is the other franchise, dog. Zeus is Kratos' father. Odin is the overarching big bad. That's Odin is the overarching big bad that's in this universe of God of War. Yeah, like Zeus is Greek mythology. Like we're in the Norse saga now. Yeah, Freya and Odin got married in order for her to attempt to create a peace between their people. Yeah, but yeah, she was a god. Said the giants. No. They're not the giants. The giants is phase people, because Atreus is half giant because of Frey. But not Frey. Faye, his mother. Aesir. That's it. I was having a brain fart. Thank you, Dallas. Yes, thank you, Dallas. Yeah. Thank you, Dallas. But yeah. I mean, Freya is a god. Yeah, like that was a big part of the plot. Like the revelation that when they found out Freya was a god, Kratos was pissed. Kratos was pissed when he found out that Freya was a god. He shut her off until like Atreus got sick and he desperately needed her help. And he beat down her door for her help to help get Atreus out of his sickness. But he was beefed out with Freya. Because she withheld the fact that she was a god from them. Yeah. So yeah, you have a lot going on there. But yeah, Ace, definitely play the game again. Man, because like there's some things like that are gonna be referenced. I don't know how much Ragnarok is actually gonna go over all these things before they start pushing forward. But play the game again. I'm not saying that from a condescending standpoint, because I am currently playing the game again. Like, so all of this is like fresh. Like, I played the game over like 4 times this year. So like I've reinforced it quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? He said Atreus' mom's. Yeah. She was a giant. Yeah. Atreus' mom, like, cause he's half giant, half god. That was the big revelation. That was the big revelation at the end of the game, that he was, that he was half giant. He found out that his mother was a giant, and that was the purpose of the journey that they had gone on. She was guiding them along the way on this journey for him to find out that he was part giant, part god. Because up until that point, she had withheld that information from Kratos and from Atreus. She had never actually mentioned that she was a giant herself. So that journey that they went on, the journey that you went on in the entire first game, was a build up to reveal that Atreus is half giant, half god. And you find out that Atreus' mom was a giant. So you know they're gonna have a flashback. I mean, they'll have a flashback, but I mean, it's only so much you can flash back of a 25-hour game. You know what I'm saying? You wanna reinforce that. You wanna reinforce that. Like you're just not gonna remember everything. And these types of games, these types of stories, they'll have callbacks that will be considered subtle and be overlooked by most people. But if you're reinforced with it. You have it, if you had those gems, fresh in your head. He said game can't drop soon enough, bruh. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, man. Y'all up here got me talking about this game, bruh. Man, I might have to stream this boy. Even if it's just for the crew, and I just set up like a VIP list for those that can come through and kick it. Man, I'm having fun kicking it about God of War. I'm having fun kicking it with y'all about that, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's been a minute. Got to run it back. Yeah. Do it. Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. Because, I mean, like, the game came out. I mean, I don't know when you played it, but the game came out 4.5 years ago. A lot of things, you'll just forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, you played a lot of games since then. You lived a lot of life since then, man. Like, something like that just is not going to be fresh in your head after 4.5 years. So, you got to go in and just refresh some things. Like I said, I had to refresh it 4 times. Like I'm in the process of my 4th playthrough leading up to this, because I want this story to be so fresh. I want it to be like, yeah, I'm in here, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if we were gonna be having this conversation in June, man, I probably wouldn't be nearly as informed as I am now. But I played the game twice since June. So, I'm able to, have this conversation a little bit more clear, a little bit more clearly, a little more lucid, a little bit more convincingly. So yeah, man, you'd be able to knock it out. I mean, it's not a long game. It's not a long game, and that's why I'm able to beat it so many times. I'm out of here. Yeah, that's why I'm able to, kind of go through it. Like, it's not a difficult game, to go through at all. You know what I'm saying? You get you a nice little save, new game plus it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about building your character back up and stuff like that, man. Just go through, just reinforce yourself with the story. This new game plus you will run. You know what I'm saying? Just reinforce the story beats. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at things each time you play a game like that. You look at it through a different lens, and you pick up things that you might have missed before. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's it's dope to play games over and over like that, because every playthrough I notice something different. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in the performances, whether it's in the way that something was said, or in this case, seeing something that is referenced in a new trailer that is a callback to something that you may or may not have overlooked in the game, in the original game, rather. So it's always positive to reinforce, your knowledge going into a sequel. It enhances the experience, man. And if you're looking forward to that joint as much as I am, man, do what you can to make it the most enjoyable experience that you can. Especially for you lore nuts. Especially like if y'all like lore, you know what I'm saying? This is some lore to sink your teeth in. You know what I'm saying? For all y'all like stories and lore, yeah, man. This I ain't gotta tell y'all this. Yeah. I ain't gotta tell y'all this, because y'all dig crazy ass lore and fighting games. So man, y'all gonna like this lore. This lore actually worth a damn. This lore translates. But all seriousness, man, yeah, man, like it's a lot. It's a lot to consume. It's a lot to consume. So like, if you don't constantly reinforce yourself with it, man, like some things will slip through the cracks. Some things slip through the cracks, man. Especially if you ain't played it in years. He said it's still loose based. Yeah, of course. I mean, Kratos is a fictional character. Kratos is a fictional character, but I mean, but that's why you can make that fictional character work. You know, in all these different mythologies. I mean, Kratos didn't exist in Greek mythology either. You know what I'm saying? He's a fictional character. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely need to revisit that game if you was thinking that Freya slept with Zeus, bruh. Just saying. Zeus, man. Zeus is a whole different mythology, brother. Zeus is in the Greek trilogy. You definitely gotta revisit, brother. But he said we talking the same lingo. Hey man, and we talking the same lingo, but only one of us was speaking it fluently, sir. One of us was a little razzle-dazzle when we was talking that lingo. Just saying, though. One was a little razzle-dazzle. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was you? Oh, okay. I thought that was Ace. Because Ace always saying something crazy. All right. If that was you, all right, cool. All right then, Ace, I take that back. But you still crazy, Ace. You still say some crazy things. You just didn't say that crazy thing. So I take that one back. But yeah. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, I mean, of course, this is something it's embellished. It's embellished mythology, but it's still heavily influenced by the mythological beats, even if it's reimagined. You know. I mean, like, believe it or not, like Final Fantasy, even like Final Fantasy VII. And I know I gotta bring it back to Final Fantasy VII some type of way, don't I? But even then has, like, you know, references of Norse mythology in it, you know. But it's not. It just takes references from it. But yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the game. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Gonna be a fun time. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time, man. So you have to make the connection to Final Fantasy VII. Hey, man, I have to bring it up at least once per stream. I had to bring it up at least once, man. And Ant said, man, I ain't even see this, man. But Ant said, I got $20 on Odin. He gonna beat Kratos' ass. You know what? I don't think Odin even gonna fight Kratos for a long time. I think Thor is gonna be your main adversary going through this game. I think you may fight Odin at the end, and Odin I think may be more of a psychological enemy. But I think Thor is gonna be the main one you fight, though. You know what I'm saying? I think Thor is gonna be the Baldur from last game. You know what I'm saying? Because it was, you know, the situation where you fought Baldur. You fought Baldur 3 times? I think you fought him 3 times. You encountered him multiple times. You fought him at the beginning. You fought him in that battle where Atreus was being a fuck boy and shot Kratos with the arrow, and then you had to go chase Baldur on when he was on the dragon, which was a fire fight too, which was dope. Very very underappreciated fight that people don't bring up much. Then you had the final battle. I think that's how it's gonna be with Thor. I think you're gonna be fighting Thor. I think Thor is gonna be the physical threat. You know what I'm saying? You said the real Odin is the friends we made along the way. That would be an interesting twist, because I'll say this. I'm not sure if Mimir can be totally trusted. I had that thought too. Like I think there could be something. I think there could be something to where, Odin is secretly Mimir in some type of way. Because you kill Mimir. You kill him. And you have to reanimate his head. So he's like a zombified guy. He's dead, but he's not. He's dead, but he's still animated. He could be animated by being Odin's spy. He could be reanimated as a spy of Odin. He said it makes too much sense to me as well. Said whoever speaks to a raven. The ravens too. Yeah, like this. They even said in the game that the ravens are. They even said in the game that the ravens are spies of Odin. Said the story of Mimir, Odin, and the Eye. Exactly. He says, yeah, exactly. Odin has one eye, so does Mimir. Kawinky ding. And ironically, Mimir is the one that you're carrying around on your hip the whole time throughout this game. He's the only one that is there all the time. Except for at the very, very end. For a few moments. But he's there with you the whole time. And the whole theme behind Odin is that the All-Father is always watching. He's watching them. He's watching them through those eyes. Through the eyes of Mimir. But yeah, it would be very, very interesting. I didn't even think we was gonna go down this road. Today. Said the all-seeing and all-knowing, absolutely. The All-Father, absolutely. Said we need a full God of War theory stream. Oh, I might do that. I might do that the week before it comes out. Might do that a week before it comes out. Might go ahead and do that. I like the idea of that. Yeah, I like the idea of that right there. And I think that adds a lot of dimension to, if we're just gonna piggyback off of this theory here. I think that adds a lot of dimension to Mimir's character, because Mimir, for those who I've talked to extensively about this game, everybody who I've talked to knows that Mimir is my favorite character in that game. So it will be very, very dope that once again my favorite character in the game ends up being the villain. or so closely associated with the villain. Said Odin is a crafty motherfucker, and I don't put it past him. Said I might fuck around and replay the game. Just please do so. Do so. Like it's that kind of game. It's that kind of game that it lends itself to that, because it's not a very long game in the tooth as far as runtime goes. You can run through that joint, man. It's a very comfortable game to get through, as long as you're not playing it on Give Me God of War like they trying to get me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like these people who call themselves my friends. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact they're trying to line me up. You just play through it at a comfortable pace, man. You can get through it easy. It's a nice game to cruise on through, dog. Definitely do it, man. Yeah, definitely do that, bro. But yeah, man, I think the week that the game comes out, man, we can do that. Or maybe we can even do that as a lead up. As a lead up to the Tuesday stream. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be streaming that day anyway, because it's a Tuesday. So leading all the way up to 9 p.m. maybe we can have a stream where we just theorize about what we think we're gonna experience later on that night. Maybe we could do it that way. I'll let y'all decide. At some point we'll take a poll. On it. I'm on YouTube. I can do polls. I can do polls on YouTube. Okay? Yeah, I can do that. So we'll do that. We'll figure that out. But yeah, man, that would be dope, man. I didn't think that y'all was on God of War like that. I didn't think y'all was on it like that. But now that I know y'all on it like that, because that's absolutely one of my favorite games. Absolutely one of my favorite games. It might be my second favorite game franchise. I'm even inclined to replay the original trilogy again. The Greek saga. But yeah, now that we getting Ragnarok, man. I mean, I just didn't think y'all would be interested in God of War content like that. You know what I'm saying? But man, hey man, we can span a whole lot of different directions with this. Yeah, man, we can go a whole lot of different directions with this, man. Go God of War. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are ready. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already told me how legendary the Final Fantasy VII playthrough was, so I'm thinking about different ideas as far as that's concerned, because we got Crisis Core coming out in December. I've already got the wheels turning as far as that goes. But now that I know we can add God of War to the mix too, and Spider-Man's coming out next year. I already know how we are with Marvel over here. There are plans. There are plans. Don't worry. It's still TNTs. We're still a fighting game community, but we are well-rounded around here, ladies and gentlemen. That shit Resident Evil 2? Oh, absolutely. 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 Said I just like Norse and Greek mythology, basically old religions in general. Oh yeah, for sure. Said should have had Kratos in Egypt. Yo, that's a whole Ant. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Train. See, like, I actually did a playthrough with you know what I'm saying, with Train was watching it. I pointed out certain things. Don't worry, Ant. I don't think you're gonna be waiting long for that. I'll put it like this. there were already breadcrumbs laid in God of War 2018. It's coming. It's coming. There's one scene where there are actual tangible things. Like, and there's a mural. And there's a mural. Don't worry, dog. It's coming. It's coming. It ain't a matter of if. It's a matter of when. It's on the way. Said, bro, Spider-Man and Wolverine next year. Man, Lord, that shit ain't happening, bro. That shit is not happening, bro. Like, I don't even know why people will put stock in Microsoft knowing what Sony is gonna do with their releases. How is Microsoft gonna know when Sony is releasing a game? Especially a game that Sony probably don't even know when Sony is releasing. It's one thing. It's one thing to know. It's one thing to know that a game is in development even before it's announced. But to know when it's coming out? No, that's cap. That's cap. No, it ain't going. Like, Wolverine is not coming out next year. It's not. Said shit would be crazy in Egypt. I don't think it's gonna be a hypothetical for long. I just put it that way. Said they better not ever kill Kratos off if they headed to Egypt. I mean, I'll say this because I mean at this point the games are so old. If you do get spoiled, I'm sure you don't care about it at this point. But Kratos has gotten killed a lot. Kratos has gotten killed a lot. Like I don't think Kratos getting killed or killed off is gonna make that big of a difference. Like Kratos has gotten killed so many times that, you know, he'll just come back. He'll just come back, man. That's why it'd be interesting to play the original trilogy too. I could illustrate that. But yeah. Even if Kratos dies, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. He said it's about the whole dime. He said it's about the whole dime. Yo, man, I'm mad that to the joint. That's about to be a lingo. Said at hold on. He said hold on, it is real. Hey man, hold on, it is real. Some would even say you had not dined unless you hold on. Some would even say that. Said Sony killed Joel. Yeah, man. Hey, man, Joel. Yeah, man. Hey, he deserved it. It be happening like that. It be like that. Said get Kratos back like you got the BOC. I mean, it's not even like that. Like, he's literally been killed. Like, Zeus killed him. Like, Zeus killed him like in game. And like it's like a, you know, it's a gameplay thing. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you meant, Blades of Chaos. But it's like an actual gameplay thing where you have to like fight yourself back to life. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally like you bring yourself back to life. So I mean, like, Kratos dying, don't even trip off that. Don't even trip off that. Like he's not human. He's not human. Like, I mean, you can kill him, but he don't stay dead. You know what I'm saying? Resident Evil 4, Silent Hill 2 and F, Dead Space, Callisto Protocol. Horror fans eating good. Facts. Facts. He said, man, yo, man, Dallas, man. Yo, Dallas, man, somebody take Dallas' phone, man. Somebody take Dallas's phone from him, man. Somebody go get Dallas' phone, man. He up here whole dining. He from TC out here. Man, he just out here. He out here right now, man. Somebody take that man's phone. Can't have my dog going out like this, man. He whole dining in the TC. He said, can't wait till Train and Alex stream them. Yo, man, everybody going crazy tonight, man. Can't nobody type right. Can't nobody type right out here. Yo, man, everybody crazy out here. Yeah, man, you know what? Train gonna stream it. Natic, man, Natic be playing, dog. Natic be playing, man. Natic ain't gonna stream. Natic ain't gonna be doing that, dog. Natic ain't, man, he ain't about that stream life like that. You know what I'm saying? Train to stream, though. Train to get down. Said Train and Alex are two separate entities. I mean, introduce me to Alex. Because I've never met anybody but Train. Introduce me to this Alex person. The only person I know L. I know L. I know Train. You know what I'm saying? Who is this Alex? I don't even know who that is, bruh. Holla at me. What we talking about? It's Hello. That Train is the streamer and Alex the one who's, oh wow, bruh. Wow. So Alex is the one flipping them peak fix, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. I ain't even know, that, bruh. That's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't even know that, man. It's all so clear to me now. He's supposed to be my lawyer. Train sent. Wow, that's deep. He said, I still need to know who I'm sorry Jedi is, man. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Man, all I'm gonna say, man, mods, man, have your trigger fingers ready. You know what I'm saying? Have your joints all safety. Have your trigger fingers ready. Yeah, man. Man, that was crazy. That was ridiculous. And I already knew this would happen. I already knew the weirdos would come out, but man, ain't nothing like seeing it, man. Said people see a female on stream. Yeah, they do. They do. Like, I mean, not to say that y'all don't, but I mean, like, I have, you know, friends that are female streamers, and I see what they go through. Like, even if they don't go through it, like, to the point they have thousands of people doing that, man, like, they get a regular influx of weirdos. They get a regular influx of weirdos, man. I'm like, man, how do you deal with that? Or in the case of Train, like, how do you deal? How do you deal with that? It's crazy. It's crazy. It sucks. that, I mean, I don't know, Train. I'm glad I don't have them problems. I'm glad I don't have them problems. I would rather just have the audience that I have now than have those weirdos. I'm good. I'm good on them. Yeah, it is, Ant. It is, man. It is sad. It is sad, man. Because I mean, even the ones that are provocative, like, they don't invite that kind of weirdness. They don't invite that kind of weirdness, bruh. Like, that's next level, dog. That's next level, dog. Yeah, man. But most of the female streamers that I know, man, they cool. They be chilling. It is uncalled for, man. It's crazy because there should be something that's put in place to where these platforms do better with, with regulating that type of behavior towards people. It's harassment. It is harassment. See, I'm wearing a ski mask during my Callisto playthrough. Well, Train, in your case, I think you should wear a ski mask anytime that you leave your house or that you go on a camera in general. Like, I think we need to really limit the amount of exposure that your face just has to the general public anyway. So I mean, like, your case is a little different. Your case is a little different, Train. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be covering that grill up anyway. But everybody else, man, it sucks that they feel like they need to do that for their own, I don't want to say safety, but it could be safety or their wellness. Sucks. But yeah, Train, I might require that you wear a ski mask. Not because of them or the weirdos, just for me. Just because, like, I don't want to see that. I want to see that. Yeah, moving on. Said just blur your face out. I mean, I guess I could. Said Luca, for example, said this year that she got more BS just because she started posting more pics of herself. Yeah, I understand it too. It's sad that it has to be that way, but the chicks that have the anime profile pic, I understand. Because a whole lot of people, like, in certain spaces, I'm gonna try and keep it general, for the sake of this conversation. But a lot of people in certain spaces, they just don't know how to interact without being disrespectful to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They get on the internet and they feel that they're protected in a certain type of way that they wouldn't be if they were out in public. So they say these things that are in their head that they wouldn't have the nerve to say if they were out in the world. And it results in a lot of weird things, sadly. It's unfortunate. I hate that sis got to go through that. I hate that. Because you just never know. You just never know who is behind an avatar. Like, even the people that we say that do that and don't have the courage to say certain things in person, because you don't know who these people are really, it makes you very weary about going out in public, because these people know what you look like and you don't know what they look like. So when these people walk up to you and they already have this type of, you know, fantasy in their head about you, it's, who knows what they may do when they see you in person too. Because I'm sure some of these people may actually go out and, like, let's say for example you go to a convention, to a convention that, you know, based around gaming, or you go to Evo or something like that. Because it was a big thing about Evo, and a whole lot of chicks being harassed and, you know what I'm saying, inappropriately touched, and having a whole lot of very, very inappropriate interactions at Evo. And a lot of times it's by people who don't reveal their identities over the internet, but then they go to these conventions and they see females who have built a brand for themselves online. So these females oftentimes are playing at an unfair advantage when they go out in public too, because they're recognizable people and they never know who's going to be the weirdo out in the crowd. You know, it's scary. It's scary on a variety of standpoints for a lot of female content creators. I sympathize with them quite a bit. I don't blame them for wanting to remain as anonymous as possible. I don't blame them. It sucks. Said people lack interaction and say shit they don't have the balls to. That's most of them. That's most of them. But there are some that come out, and there's some of these freaks that come out at night and they end up having very, very weird in-person interactions with people. You know, like, I mean, just look up what was going on at Evo before the pandemic. There were a lot of different instances in which, you know, people were coming forward talking about how they were, you know, they had a lot of inappropriate experiences. You know, it's not just on the internet. It manifests itself in person too, but the internet gives an added layer of protection for a lot of these people that are already on that weird shit. You know, but when you get a minute, look up what was going on at Evo. It's sad. Man, how long we been on here? A little over 2 hours. All right. We moving. We cooking a little bit. We cooking with a little bit of grease. But yeah, man, that's something that, you know, you realistically have to think about, man. You have to realistically think about that whenever you go out in public in general, when you're a female of high profile. He said, what's also sad, that I didn't get to play the Street Fighter 6 beta. Yeah, man, that is sad, especially considering there are people out here, that were still playing it this week. There are people out here still playing it. There are people still out here playing it. And yeah, I'm hating too. I'm see, like, and we the same. We the same now. Because people are still out here playing it, man. So we gotta unite against those grimy PC hackers that were hacking the game and data mining the game just so they could play it. Yeah, we the same, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, motherfucker gonna know all the meta when the game drop. Yeah, they definitely gonna be ahead of the. They'll be ahead of the pack. I mean, but still, they only have half the roster. They only have access to half the roster. You know, a lot of things are subject to change. A lot of, you know, A lot of, buffs, nerfs, things like that, retuning will happen. But hey, man, they still in the lab nonetheless. It got so bad that Capcom needed to literally patch the exe file. It sent an update file to the exe to delete the exe off of their hard drive. Now, it's crazy that Capcom, revealed this strategy to do this, because now you unplug your computer from the internet, don't download the update, you can still play. Like, so one just needs to be skilled with one character to make it to Evo? Absolutely. I mean, well, I'll say this, yes and no, because you have to be skilled in your main character that you plan on using, in most of your competition going forward. But I think you should be proficient with all characters, because you have to learn matchups. And I think you learn matchups and you learn the properties of said characters that you're going to be fighting by playing with them, at least in some capacity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, you're right. But I think the better you are and the more well-rounded you are with all characters, it gives you a better chance at knowing what's going to be thrown at you when you're fighting. So you have to have more than one main? I don't think you do. Now, it's helpful. It's helpful to have more than one main. It's helpful to have as many characters as possible that you're proficient in. But I don't think you need to have more than one main. I think once you found a character that fits your playstyle, and you decide to push all your chips to the center of the table with them, and just learn and lab as much as you can with that character, I don't think you need to have more than one main. If you choose to have one, that's a personal decision. But I don't think that there's a rule that you need to have more than one main. I think you can have one main, but you also need to be, you need to have a knowledge base of all the characters, because you're eventually going to be fighting all the characters. So you need to have some sort of a knowledge base. And if you end up, picking up a second main, I think that's cool, but I don't think you need one. So also random, with Konami releasing remakes now, do you think they're copying Capcom's playbook, meaning we will see them remake more IPs? I don't think they're copying Capcom. I think they're just copying the way of the industry. Like, this is just a remake generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think over time we're gonna see a lot less remasters. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna see things just being remade more. I mean, I think, it draws comparison to Capcom because they're both, remaking games in the same genre. But, I mean, you look at Final Fantasy VII being remade. You look at The Last of Us being remade. You're looking at a whole lot of these games. A whole lot of games just being remade in general. Demon Souls was remade. Like, I think this is just kind of like the way of the times for it. Said, main is a very loose representation of what I mean. Said, you got to know what works against another. I mean, but okay, all right. So what exactly do you mean? What exactly do you mean if it's a loose representation of what you mean? What do you mean by main then? Yeah, like okay. Because when you say main, I'm thinking that you mean main. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean by main? Said, I would hope so. Remakes are better than remasters. Agreed. ground up remakes are awesome and make room for better sequels going forward with that respective franchise. I believe that to be the case also. I believe that to be the case also. So I need that Metal Gear remake. I mean, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Like, I'm not a person that has a problem with remakes at all. I say, hey man, remake Metal Gear. Remake Metal Gear Solid. Remake all these joints. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, remake as much as you can. I mean, I know it takes resources, but hey, remake a whole lot of these older experiences, because over time it's going to be more and more difficult. It's going to be more and more difficult to continue to experience these games. You know, because the hardware just wasn't made to be able to to have that level of backwards compatibility, kind of like a PC. You know. Said we need Legend of Dragoon as an action RPG. Bring it on. Bring it on. I need a Castlevania title, 3D action adventure. Bring it on. Absolutely. Do that too. I'm on board with it. Said learning to play with other characters well, not basic. So what I'm trying to say is you need a main and probably a few side chicks. I'm being goofy, but yeah. I mean, that's why. Okay. Playing with other characters well doesn't necessarily make you a main, though. You know what I'm saying? And that was explained. But a main is a character that you are more proficient in and that you feel more comfortable with, even more so than the other characters that you play well. Because I think you can get by off playing. You can get by off playing a character well just off basic fighting game knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get by off playing a character well with basic. Like if you have basic fighting game instincts, like you understand spacing, you understand you understand the concept of footsies and things like that. If you have that concept. That those skills and those understandings translate from game to game. So you can play a character well, but your main is different. Your main is still different. But I mean, like the way that you elaborated on that, I do agree. Like you should have as much of an understanding of the roster as possible, but even with that understanding, I don't think you necessarily need to have more than one main. Like you can have one main character that you rock out with, but make sure that you have an understanding of what you're dealing with when you fight the rest of them. So I would hope that Sony would ante up the money and get Metal Gear Solid and the Fox engine back for Kojima, so that the Metal Gear remake can be done properly. I mean that would be a lot, because Kojima, as far as we know, Kojima is not even signed to Sony. So for them to go out on that limb for somebody that's not signed with them. Said one game we don't need is Contra. Yeah, they can keep Contra. I'm cool with Contra being just a retro experience. He said when you find your man, it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I'm very interested to see what your man gonna be in Street Fighter 6. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna continue to rock Blanca, you know what I'm saying? Be interesting. Said very good point. So would you be able to get the Metal Gear franchise from Konami? I think that's possible. I mean, second party licensing deals happen all the time, and Sony has a history of licensing IPs. You know, that's all Spider-Man is. That's all Spider-Man is. So like I absolutely wouldn't rule it out as a possibility. It would just be a matter of, you know, those parties coming to the table and working it out. But absolutely a possibility. Absolutely a possibility. I mean, they sat down and you know, set up the Spider-Man Insomniac deal before Insomniac was even signed to Sony. So it's always possible. It's always possible. But there is quite a bit of red tape that goes into it because of the history that Kojima and Konami have. So not sure how easy that would be, but hey, that's why you do it. That's why you do it. You at least try. You say you want to be in at the library, haven't you? Man, I ain't gonna front, man. Hey, I kind of did. Said in the last Contra was 3D, hot garbage. Yeah, it was. Said still on my PS5. Said just play 2K and Kana now. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And back on Kana, man. I might jump back on it too. I might jump back on Kana. Enjoyed that game. Also, those DNF servers are dry, man. Good. Man, we don't even talk about that. It's the only way I'll get a game going is if I'm running with Jet and Bats. I mean, and we could absolutely set that up. Absolutely set that up if the parties are interested. That's why I think Sony would make the deal for the franchise, then give it to Kojima 6 months later. I mean, and I say this because a lot of people have conversations, you know, about acquisitions. Like the only thing that it takes is for people to roll up and just buy it. A person like the owners has to be willing to sell said franchise. I'm not positive that, you know, that Konami is just gonna be willing to just, you know, sell that franchise off. They know what Metal Gear is. They know what Metal Gear is. Like it's not gonna be a situation where they're not just gonna sell that franchise off for peanuts, knowing that Kojima has that relationship with Sony already. They may play hardball and say, look, we're not going to sell. We could work out a licensing deal. But even then, we're going to be cracking you over the head too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that easy. You know what I'm saying? The IP owner has the leverage in this situation. Sony would have to agree whatever Konami's terms are. Say it ain't shit out, so I feel you. I'm not gonna hold you. Said Kena is way different since that update. So it's like a new game? Really? I like that. I like the sound of that. I understand. I know how it works. I was just thinking out loud, kind of. Also, Metal Gear is major with Kojima, so that has to be considered. Absolutely, and that's the thing. Like, depending on how much resentment Konami and Kojima have towards one another, they could both make it difficult on Sony to even broker a deal. You know, hopefully it's not a situation where, you know, a whole lot of those people like Konami are still there, or, you know, they still hold that same type of grudge if they're still there. Because I mean, after all, it happened, you know, 7, almost 8 years ago. Hopefully, you know, it's gotten to a point to where time has at least, you know, calmed those fires down a little bit to where something like that could happen. But I would say that it's a lot more complicated for Sony to go in and negotiate a Kojima Konami deal than it would be for Marvel and Insomniac, you know. But not to say it can't be done. Not to say it can't be done. Yeah, it could happen. Could happen, certainly. I can go one further. I hope it happens. I would hope that happens. Because, oh my God, I don't want to see another Metal Gear Solid game without Kojima. Oh my God, that last thing they called themselves doing was so hot, God. Oh, that joint was so awful. What was that joint called? Survivor? Oh man. Whatever that joint was called, it was trash. Garbage. Said, when do you guys think we'll get a glimpse of Wolverine next year? I think we'll see it next year. I think we'll see it next year, but I don't think we're gonna, you know. I don't think, you know, like we're not gonna be playing it anytime soon. We're not gonna play it anytime soon. But I think we'll see it next year. You know, it was announced last year. Like I think, you know, 2 years is plenty of time. If they're not gonna show something about that game, this year, absolutely we'll see it next year. I said the RE Village about to be a new game when you get that third person mode. Also true. Definitely running that back. Said we in a good place right now, heading into 2023, even as lowly PS4 owners. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Resident Evil Village is gonna feel like playing Resident Evil 2 and 3. And if you play Resident Evil 2 and 3, that is top shelf. That's top shelf Resident Evil experience right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's absolutely gonna feel like a new game, and it's gonna be lovely. Said if they was hiring art directors for Wolverine. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And I mean, and just because I say that we're gonna see it next year, I don't know how much we're gonna see. Like I think we could even see something like what will be something I could, you know, I could see us getting. Something like the trailer for God of War Ragnarok last year. I think we could see something like that. Something that's like a montage. That's like a montage of gameplay and things, like gameplay and cutscene that they already have got. You know what I'm saying? Because art directors, you know, they specialize a lot in, you know, they specialize in character design, but a lot of the bulk of what they do is, you know, environmental direction, animation detection. Well, not detection, but animation. You know, like particle effects and things like that. Like that's what a lot of art directors do, and that's gonna be changing over time anyway. I'm sure they have the nuts and bolts of the gameplay already ironed out. I'm sure they do. I'm sure we'll be able to see something involving gameplay next year. Like if we give them a year, like let's say for example, Sony does a showcase next September. You know, they usually do their showcases in September. If they do a showcase at all, it's usually in September now. Ever since they pulled out of E3, they've usually been in September. let's say September of 2023, they have a showcase. That's practically a year out from now. That's more than enough to set up, you know, a 3-minute trailer. More than enough. Especially since by then, Spider-Man will be getting ready to drop. So you won't have Spider-Man in the way of that. Spider-Man will either be getting ready to drop or have already dropped. We'll see. So you guys gonna play Gotham Knights? Hell no. Yeah. Yeah. Hell no. Oh, my Lowry gonna be all right. But yeah. A year's enough time to get Wolverine ready. You know what I'm saying? Said not until it's free. Facts. Free is the only way I'll roll the dice on giving that game a second of my time. But yeah. That's absolutely enough time. That's absolutely enough time to, you know, to get a trailer's worth of material done on Wolverine. Well said, and I hope you're right. Though I think February State of Play 2023 might have a surprise gameplay trailer of Wolverine. I wouldn't rule that out either. I think that's possible. I think that's possible too. That would be dope. Said rather play Arkham or Injustice 2. So would I. I've been playing Arkham recently, you know, because I've been running this 3070 through this, you know what I'm saying? And man, let me tell you, when I tell you that Arkham be Arkhaming, woo, man, that Arkham is Arkhaming right now. Woo, man, Billy, woo. Man. Yeah, so WB should have made that a tax write-off. I think they did. I don't think it's necessarily a situation in which we know for sure that they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They might just threw that joint on out there for the out there. He said, well, we can see greatness now. Sony wasn't delaying that event so they could hate on Microsoft deal. Exactly. I mean, it's messed up because petty industry BS is keeping them from selling to their audience. You know what I'm saying? Petty industry BS that they have with a rival company is keeping them from selling their product to their audience. And the sad part about it is they know they can afford to do it. They know they can afford to do it because everybody's about to buy God of War Ragnarok. Ever since the PlayStation 5 has been more accessible and more available on the market, it's been selling like hotcakes. Again, this is where we get caught up with our little sector, our little corner of the internet. Just because all of us over here are just clamoring for all of these announcements of things that we don't know about. Meanwhile, these consoles are selling like hotcakes. Bruh. They don't need to do a showcase to sell PlayStation 5s because PlayStation 5s are already selling. God of War Ragnarok comes out in 3 weeks. That joint is going to be selling PlayStation 5s for the next 5 or 6 months. Just like Horizon is doing. Just like Horizon has done. Ain't nobody talking about it, but Horizon has been like consistently in the top 5. A lot of times it's been top 3 sellers every month that it's been out. They don't go on our timetable, man. So if they feel the need that they gotta hate on Microsoft's deal, they gonna do it because they know they selling like they selling like hotcakes right now. You know what I'm saying? Said $1 billion companies beef different. Facts. He said you can get a kidney before you can get a PS5. I mean, not so much now. I know quite a few people that have come up lately. There's been a lot of people that have come up lately, man. Say you know that that $68 billion costs louder than anything Sony could block with. I mean, that's true. That's true, but that ain't gonna stop them from trying. Said that deal with Microsoft Activision is going through. I believe it's going to go through regardless too, but I think Sony at this point is just trying to provide as much resistance as possible. Yeah, like it's about providing, you know, them providing as much resistance, because I don't think that they really. I don't think they really believe that they have a leg to stand on when it comes to, you know, having a gripe with keeping you know, IPs off of platforms with all the exclusive deals that they've cut, with one being revealed, a new one being revealed this week, you know, with Silent Hill 2. You know, like there's really not a leg to stand on for Sony, really. But it's about providing as much resistance and prolonging the inevitable for as long as possible, because that is profitable for Sony too. Even if the deal does eventually go through, it could still potentially be profitable for Sony to even just prolong an inevitable deal. That don't judge me, I might get caught. Hey man, I ain't gonna judge nobody off how they spend their money, man. You just gonna catch a few jokes, that's it. But I ain't gonna judge you for real. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, get it, enjoy it, man. Get it, enjoy it. I'll just say this, man, buy it physical so you can trade it in if you need to. Just cop that joint physical, man, so you can, you know what I'm saying, take that trip up to GameStop if you need to, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's the only advice that I would give you to, you know, about spending your own money. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a position to where you can get some of it back if you want. Because if you end up getting frustrated, you know what I'm saying, you end up wanting to take that joint for a ride, man. Hey, yo, man, GameStop don't take digital licenses, I don't think. That definitely copping card. There you go. Hey, I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm not going to tell people what they can and can't play, man. Judge people on what they play or don't play, man. Unless you haven't played Arkham. I'm judging you for that. I'm judging you. You are an uncultured, scum of the earth swine. Peasant if you ain't played Arkham. I said it and I meant it. And what? See, I was watching IGN first 12-minute gameplay. Looks decent. The story. Oh yeah, I did see a cutscene that Dre put up of it too. That, like, the cutscenes look fire. I ain't even gonna hold it up. Like, I'm interested in playing. Like, I would be interested in playing the campaign of that joint. Like, I don't really get down on COD multiplayer like that. Like, it looks dope. Like, those cutscenes look dope, bro. Yeah, man, that joint looks fire. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't gonna hate on COD. I ain't gonna hate on nobody, playing COD. That joint do look real. That joint do look real, bruh. I ain't gonna hate on it. Said my wait on Black Friday when it's $40. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that, man. Black Friday only a month away. You know what I'm saying? I tried not to watch it too. I ain't even gonna front. Like, I'm like, man, dog, the game ain't even. Man, come on, man. Let the joint be out the rafter for a minute, dog. Like, man, you just posting everything as soon as you can. You just gonna post everything as soon as possible, huh? But looked at that joint, man. I was like, yo, man, I can't be mad at it. This joint look fire. You know what I'm saying? Very well acted, very well directed. It looked like, man. Like that's one thing COD has always done well. They're very good at making, you know, contemporary action movies out of their campaigns. They will give you the Michael Bay experience. I respect them for that. I was trying to post Kana gameplay and PS5 wouldn't let me for some reason. Why is that? You're trying to post it on Twitter? How long was the clip? Said, check out the gameplay footage of Scars Above on YouTube when you get a chance. Said it's a third-person sci-fi shooter that looks somewhat promising. Okay, Scars Above. Okay, will do. It's on Twitter. How long was the clip? Said this PS5 has a spoiler feature with the last update. I believe PlayStation would tell you when you're entering a scene that has a spoiler though. Like, I think it'll tell you like when it stopped recording. You know what I'm saying? Like when it stops recording, like the DVR feature or whatever. I think it notifies you. Maybe they changed that around now. But I believe it has a spoiler, like a spoiler feature that just automatically stops recording. Say just 111? That's it? Yeah, that's crazy. Said PlayStation probably has Ant on spoiler list. Yo, man, Def, chill, dog. Oh man, got him. Yeah, man. And is at minimum a yellow alert out here, man. And is yellow alert at minimum, bruh. So here comes the spoiler, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't gonna front, man. I'm up here looking at the Discord right now, and I saw that Ant posted, you know, about God of War spoilers, man. I ain't gonna front. Just seeing that, man, made me a little nervous. Man. Like, man, I don't like your energy of that post. I don't like your energy in that post, dog. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Yes, man. Get ready. You know what I'm saying? Call it. Unless y'all got something y'all want to kick it about. You know what I'm saying? Something else. You know what I'm saying? But more likely than not, Ant, it might be a situation where you try to capture something that was blocked by spoilers, but usually I thought that the DVR would just cut off and just stop recording when you enter a spoiler protected scene. I could be wrong. He said Yeah, if I was gonna spoil God of War, you'd be like, yo, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. We gotta look out for each other, man. We gotta protect each other, dog. Said, what do you think about the Bayonetta voice actor controversy? I believe that voice actors in general should be compensated better than what they are. I think the fact that, regardless of whether it was $4,000 total or whether it was $4,000 per session, I think the fact that you're a part of a franchise that generates millions and millions of dollars, you deserve more than $20,000 if you're playing the title character for the franchise. Now, I'm not saying they need to all of a sudden turn you into a millionaire, but I do believe that when you're the title character of a very, very significant part of a franchise that generates millions of dollars, you should be compensated better than, $20K potentially. At the highest, at most, $20K. You should be compensated better than that. Said the share was part of the new DLC, so I guess that was protected. Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. Right on. I believe that too. Voice actors are so important to these franchises and should be compensated properly for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, I believe I don't give a fuck. Didn't know who she was before any of this. But I mean, regardless, like if you play the title character of a franchise that generates millions of dollars, regardless of how much notoriety she has, I do believe that she should be compensated better than what she was, So I respect her plight. Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this doesn't fly in any other industry. This doesn't fly in any other industry. Like let's say for example, on the low end, Bayonetta generates $200 million. The main character in a movie that generated $200 million would not just be getting paid $20K. Not when you're talking about on the grand scale. I'm not saying like if it was just an indie darling that just all of a sudden blew up beyond anybody's wildest dreams, and yeah, that could happen. But most of the times that's not the case, and that's definitely not the case with Bayonetta. Bayonetta was an established franchise that has generated quite a bit of money. You can pay her better than that. Because let's say it generated $200 million. 1% of that $200 million is $2 million. And I'm not even arguing that she gets $2 million. But I would say that she should at least get 0.5%. If you're generating $200 million, I don't think it should be out of the question to break off your main character $500,000. I don't understand why I'm seeing content creators siding with the corporation. Yo, that was that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, I would never cut deals with any of these people. I would not trust any of these people to stand next to them in a boardroom. I wouldn't do business with any of these people. I wouldn't do business with anybody who doesn't see that. Like, it is crazy that there are creators were siding with the devils out here. You said 20K shouldn't even be the minimum. Absolutely. Thank you. You see, but Dallas, you're an artist. You're an artist that's had interaction. you actually know what's going. No other industry is like that other than gaming. But people try to use the fact that, oh, this is what happens in gaming. Why does it happen in gaming then? Maybe gaming should change. Because gaming now is generating as much money as blockbuster movies, if not more. More, a lot of times. More. So why is it that the business model is still so archaic? Because you want the corporations to eat. Oh, okay. You rather CEO get a raise than the artist. Okay, cool. I'll never cut a deal with you. I'll go out of my way not to cut a deal with the likes of you. You could say the same for Gears of War, Metal Gear. They replace cast as soon as they wanted to. Absolutely. That's their prerogative. If they want to replace people, they can. But compensate whoever has the job. Compensate them. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's not even about the role being recast. It's about a business practice that is established as as a standard in the industry. Excuse me. It's about a business practice being established as standard in the industry that, all right, we're generating a certain amount of money here. It needs to be divvied up a little different. It needs to be divvied up differently. It's not even about recasting. Like the actors, they don't have ownership over the role. But whatever actor is casted in that role should be compensated accordingly. They should be compensated fairly. You know what I'm saying? So imagine Robert Downey Jr. Only making $20K that's what I'm saying. He would laugh at that. He would laugh at that. You know what I'm saying? You said David Hayter, my good brother from Living Saint. Yeah, TC Carson. Yeah, Kyle. Said, you ever seen the voice actor for Mario? You can tell Nintendo paying him in pizza. Man, stop it. Said, people forget how young of an industry gaming is. It hasn't had the same growing pains as other branches of entertainment. That's true. But at the same time, you could also say that because gaming is so young, it could learn from a lot of the mistakes that those industries made. You know what I'm saying? It was able to witness a whole lot of, the missteps and the growing pains that went through the music industry, that went through the television industry, that went through, the movie industry. And a lot of these industries are still going through. They can learn from those mistakes. Especially you can learn from those mistakes because you're bringing in more money than all of them. So even at a bare minimum understanding, even if you don't have a complete roadmap of how you want to restructure the business model, that takes a lot. I think we can all agree that for a franchise that makes hundreds of millions of dollars, you should pay your title character more than $20K. I mean, I think like you even said, we can all agree to that much as a starting point. Even if you just want to use that as a base to work off of before we actually start going into, industry-wide restructuring. $20K? And they actually said that. They actually said that like that made her case less credible. Like, no, we weren't gonna offer her $4,000 total. We were just gonna give her $4,000 per session. How many sessions was it gonna be? 5 sessions, 4 sessions maybe. Okay, so it's gonna be between $16,000 and $20,000. And the franchise has generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and you still think that's fair? Okay. All right. Said Bayonetta, I just don't know who she was, and I played the first two. I mean, and that's fair. That's fair because a lot of times I don't know a lot of voice actors. I don't. Like unless it's somebody whose voice I consistently hear all the time, or somebody who has a lot of notoriety within the industry based on a decade plus of work, like Nolan North or the Troy Bakers or the homegirl that plays homegirl that played Nadine, Laura Bailey. Like unless you're one of those people that consistently pop up in major projects all the time, I wouldn't expect everybody to know. But the fact still remains that if you're bringing in that much money, a certain amount should be delegated back to the creatives. It should. I mean, even if it's not a a situation of where you're giving millions of dollars, just negotiate a better percentage that these people should get. Negotiate a percentage of whatever the proceeds end up being, because not every game is going to sell. Not every game is going to generate hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. But negotiate a percentage for these people, especially your main character. That's crazy. Got 40 million to marketing, sometimes shitty marketing at that, but only paying the talent $20K. That's what I'm saying. And let's say that 40 mil goes into marketing. If they made $200 million and 440 of that went to marketing, that's still only 20%. That's still only 20% of what was brought in, which means you still have 80% to divvy out. You can still give your main character $500,000. I'm sure she would not have this type of gripe if she made $500,000 off of a product that generated $200 million. So I wish someone only give me 4K after I sell a house. That's how much blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's real. Like, I mean, again, this is something that supersedes industries. You know what I'm saying? This is a business model thing. Like, it's an issue that gaming hasn't gotten to this point yet, but it's bringing in so much money. He said she should have negotiated on the back end, not the work done before. No, but see, the thing is that was the thing. That's what she was doing. That's why she ended up getting recasted, rather. That's why she got recasted, because she tried to negotiate these new terms for this game, and they said, no, we don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? They said, this is what we're going to offer you. She didn't do the work. That's why she got replaced. You know what I'm saying? Said, nah, if you're a voice actor for an NPC, oh, absolutely, and that's why I placed the emphasis on your main character. That's why I placed the emphasis on the main character, because a lot of times if you're just an extra, hey man, you do that for free. You don't get paid at all. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what the extra role is, hey man, like you're there. You're there. Network while you on the lot. You know what I'm saying? Network while you on the lot. But nah, you're here for the look, homie. That's why I specifically emphasize main character. Because yeah, you're right. Like if you just an extra, you know what I'm saying? You just a random little mama shit. Yeah, it hit a little different. But if we're talking about main characters, come on, man. But yeah, Ace, that's the issue right there. Like she tried to negotiate a deal where she would get residuals and a pay raise. And they said, nah, player, we ain't going for that, man. And because the standard has already been established in that industry so much, they were able to recast her. She didn't have a leg to stand on, and because it's not unionized, they were able to do it without any resistance. You know, it sucks. You said I was an extra in the movie. Yeah. I bet you do have stories. I bet you do. Yeah, man. I would love to hear them. I love to hear them. Yeah, man. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that. I want to hear these stories. But yeah, that's my outlook on that. That's my outlook on that, man. It's a shame that $20,000 is considered the good deal from them. You know. Like that shouldn't even be the minimum. That shouldn't even be the minimum, let alone it being the max. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. But yeah, man. I'm hungry. I done been on here over 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna get ready to, you know what I'm saying, throw something in the food box, man. You know? Probably gonna throw an upload up. Might throw another match set up or something, you know what I'm saying, while I'm still getting everything reacclimated. I'm still long overdue on my Street Fighter 6 post review. And I'm gonna add a whole lot of insight on, you know, from today's developments into that video too. You know, my Street Fighter 6 video could end up being a little bit different than I originally even planned. Based on, you know, the presentation of new data, new information. And hey, we're gonna start ramping up. We're gonna talk about God of War leading up to this too. We're gonna talk about God of War. We're gonna have more God of War conversations. I had no idea that y'all were as interested in that franchise as I was. You know. So yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that as well. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that pulled up, man. Everybody that watched this on the back end, man. Appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, making Unapolojetik a thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Quantum, Train, Ant Dog, Ace. You already know. Dallas, man. You already know. Death. You know what I'm saying? Bats was up in here. Pop was up in here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that pulled up, man. If I missed you, man, blame it on the brain, not the heart, man. But thank you. Yeah, but be on the lookout for another upload tomorrow. I'll probably upload. I might upload the matches I had with Upchuck, man. Cause I'm playing Jury's theme song right now. Upchuck had a really dope jury. You know what I'm saying? Definitely challenged me. You know what I'm saying? But probably gonna upload that tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? For those that still want a little bit of that Street Fighter fix, you know what I'm saying? Still, you know, just like, yo God, can I get another red balls, please? You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and just throw y'all a red balls while we at it. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout tomorrow for my set with Upchuck. I'm gonna be throwing some matches up that I had with Bads, with Agent, and just random matches that I had. You know what I'm saying? But in between all that, the edited videos and, you know, the talking heads and possibly even theory videos now, because you guys are interested. We'll get some things cracking. We'll have the channel popping. I had a channel popping on a whole lot of different standpoints that I didn't even anticipate that you'd be interested in watching. But because you are, let's get it. But yeah, that's for a later date. In the meantime, man, appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other. I'm out of here. Peace.